So here's how I took my client from here: 140 pounds, perimenopause, frustrated, not liking how she felt in her body. The clothes didn't fit right. She tried all the different diets, the keto, the intermittent fasting. She just didn't have a system that could help her during this phase of her life. To here, after 125 pounds, more confident, her clothes fit just right, but now she developed a system of tracking to where now she can maintain her new body. Let me walk you through how long it took, what were her calories, how much protein she ate, and how many days a week she lifted weights and did cardio. So time frame wise, this actually took 6 months. And the reason this took 6 months is the goal was to make sure she was primarily losing body fat. And we did that. And I said, look, what we need to do is lose about a half a pound to a pound of fat per week. If you're doing that, you're right on track. Now, during this time, I told her the importance of tracking the data. So we used the MyFitnessPal. I taught her how to input her food. I taught her how to use the food scale properly. I taught her how to track her steps and her exercise calories burned. Now she had a system. Calorie wise, when we first started the program, we found her maintenance, and her maintenance was actually 1,800. And that was the amount of calories that was keeping her at 140 pounds. She was in the gym a few days a week. She just didn't know how to progress it to build muscle. She did steps, she did cardio, but she was still stuck at a plateau because she didn't know how to progress. Now, during the program, once we found her maintenance, I took her into a slight calorie deficit. So I only decreased her calories by 200. And the reason I did that is because I actually increased her activity to compensate to take us further in a deficit without decreasing the food calories. Protein. When we first started the program, she was averaging roughly about 80 grams, which wasn't a lot for her goal because she primarily wanted to do a body recomposition, which is lose fat while building muscle. So the protein was relatively low. I told her, I said, look, you don't have to have 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, but we do want this number to come closer to your ultimate goal. So by the time the program was over, I had her eating anywhere between 115 to 130 grams of protein without force feeding. This is what allowed her to build that muscle while she was losing fat. And then weight training, she was already doing 3 times a week, so I kept her at 3 times a week. But the difference was I taught her how to progressive overload. I gave her a system to know when she was using a certain weight, when she got to a certain amount of reps, when to increase the weight to keep progressing. And then cardio, we did cardio twice a week, but we did steady state. So I didn't have her doing high intensity. And the calorie burn, I had her burn anywhere between 300 to 400 calories each time she did cardio. And this is what I did, and I was able to get her to 125 pounds the right way within 6 months. Now, if you would like help, type the word ready in the comment section, and I can customize a plan for you so you can reach your goal.